In 1922, Picasso wanted to escape the strong Russian presence and hustle and bustle of the city of Fontainebleau. He moved with his family to the small seaside city of Dinard, settling in a roof attic overlooking the channel. Both the channel and the beach of Dinard appealed to Picasso and his family. The quiet and appealing countryside offered a pleasant change of pace, in stark contrast to the turbulent and disruptive atmosphere of Fontainebleau. Inspired, he painted two women running on the beach. In it, he shows two women running across the beach. Their curvaceous figures and accentuated motions present the viewer an image of vigor and liberation, capturing the spirit of joie de vivre, or enjoyment of life. And I had a thought of how this relates a great deal with the ideas of freedom and energy in Saim Sadiq's feature debut film, Joyland. The film uses gender roles and the identities of people to show their struggles for freedom against societal expectations and why they transgress. These actions are mainly shown through the journeys of the characters: Haider, the second-born son of the Rana family, his wife Mumtaz, and a transgender dancer, Biba, for us to look with empathy rather than disgust or anger. Haider's position as a house husband, coupled with his inability to produce a son, is looked down upon by both his brother and father.
मुझे एक मैसेज नहीं कर सकते नहीं वो तो चुप कर यार
मुमताज का दिल नहीं है अभी
मुमताज का दिल नहीं है कि तुमसे कुछ होता नहीं
He gets a job at the theater to earn his father's approval, but lies about his dancer position, which would be frowned upon.
थिएटर मैनेजर
His initial discomfort is gradually superseded by the seduction of this salacious world, and Biba becomes the focal point of his allurement. But why? Biba is everything Haider is not. While both have garnered disdain from society, Biba remains headstrong and regularly contends for herself, while Haider is shy and timid. This image of strength and unwavering sense of self is what Haider was entranced by. To him, Biba represents the confidence which he himself lacks. This desire for confidence slowly manifests as a form of sexual attraction, shown later by him holding Biba's standee, a homoerotic visual metaphor for the subconscious craving of her. His desire for Biba grows, culminating in wanting her full lifestyle, evidenced later when he bends over to receive. But this goes against Biba's own desires as a woman.
पागल है तू
So she banishes him.
नजर आई दोबारा मैनू ना थिएटर से नजर आई मैनू
His lack of freedom and control allowed himself to be enticed by transgression. With every kiss, he could finally know what freedom tastes like. Transgression was his drug. According to Saim Sadiq,
I think it's more interesting to interpret the film as a coming of age story of a man, but that came a little bit at the cost of a couple of women.
and so we see Haider's journey as one of pain, wanting to break free from the constant patronizing and judgmental environment of your family and struggling to discover who you are. Like Picasso's painting, the film uses the beach to represent a place of freedom and self-exploration. We see the two women, their breasts revealed, symbolizing truth and liberty. These two women mirroring Mumtaz and Biba, both of whom have ventured beyond the expectations of social norms and desire to live how they want, both having been to Karachi Beach. The film's parallel to the beach in Picasso's painting.
फ्रेंच बीच तो ले आई सब
फ्रांस
नहीं पागल कराची
बीच गई हो तुम कभी
बचपन में कराची जाया करते थे तो आंटी लेके जाया करती थी
And representing Picasso's own feelings of freedom and liberty on the beach of Dinard. The film uses Biba and Mumtaz to show the trials of living in a highly conservative and traditional society. For Biba, as a result of her transitioning into a woman, has been ostracized, only being able to live with others of the transgender community. She has no one but herself and faces the threat of possible death as a transgender woman.
उन्हें गोली मार दी
She replaces the whole of human connection in her life with ambition to pay for her surgeries.
की लेना तुझे कर
पागल लेना नहीं है करवाना है
Biba has gone beyond the limits of what society views as acceptable. She struggles with the constant social scrutiny and life-threatening position to return to what is deemed acceptable. She has sacrificed her inclusivity by pursuing the life she desires, her transgressions only being a means to an end rather than intentional defiance. While Biba's journey is to show us the consequences and trials of individuals who transgress, Mumtaz's role in the film shows us the suffocating and despairful effects of conformity, and how her acts of transgression are merely a result of her trying to find pleasure in a system that refuses to embrace her own desires. Introduced as both innovative and capable, she is forced to quit her job by Haider's father, relegated to a housewife.
आप कर लेते
ये मुमताज को घर पे तवज्जो देनी पड़ेगी, घर रहना पड़ेगा।
नहीं अब्बा
The inclusion of doors within each frame of every shot she is in displays a constant reminder of her confinement. The inability to prosper and lack of sexual fulfillment leads her down a road of desperation for happiness, as seen when she pleasures herself while spying on a neighbor, also pleasuring himself. The traditionally joyful revelation that her pregnancy will bring a boy
और माशाल्लाह मुबारक हो बेटा है
actually hastens her spiral into hopelessness,
जो दिल करे उसके
मैं दिल
जिस
कर रहा मैं
time
बाहर जा
resulting in an attempt to flee, similar to how Picasso wanted to escape the city of Fontainebleau and experience rejuvenation and freedom with the city of Dinard. But unlike Picasso, she returns to the home, her spirit completely broken. Knowing a child will forever jail her to the household, her desperation propels herself to take her own life before giving birth. The house was her prison, an oppressive environment that strangles satisfaction and devoids fulfillment. Mumtaz's journey epitomizes the struggle of transgression under the weight of suppression. Both Biba and Mumtaz encourage Haider to visit Karachi Beach, representing their want for him to discover for himself who he truly is. And after the events of the film, he eventually does. With the image of two women, breasts revealed, we see Joyland present a similar one, with Haider removing his shirt, showing his attempt to reveal his true self and find freedom. Joyland puts us through the eyes of the transgressors, allowing us to experience the struggles and motivations for their perceived wrongdoings, portraying transgression as the unfortunate consequence of people who are outside of conventional norms, wanting to find their own happiness.
So I would say it's a call for empathy and a call for just normalizing things that are normal if you look inside.
So, are these transgressions an act of defiance? Or can these actions be interpreted as cries for joy and self-discovery? Regardless of whichever one you choose, we can all agree that everyone wants happiness. And through whatever means, we all strive to find our own Joyland. But hey, I just had a thought.